Sadly, nothing is safe from the game. All extremism all the time now. And the latest victim is the Supreme Court. Not the ruling. The ruling they made in Trump v. Casa is reasonable, and I'll explain. But the MAGA versus the mirror movement on the left, whatever you want to call it, is out of control. Everything has to be processed about who wins, who loses between the two of them. This case says clearly that the lower court judge's order stands, but only for those who actually sued, not the whole nation. Trump v. Casa, look it up, clearly makes no change to multiple judges' stoppage of Trump's actions on the substance. And yet it's being hyped as a major win for Trump and his ability to control the Constitution, or a major constitutional crisis about allowing an extension of an authoritarian. Neither is even close to being true, let alone the case. And no, it's not spin. It's not merely a matter of opinion. It is selling BS. There is no more truth. There is only preference. There is only what you want to believe. There is nothing in the decision that expands Trump's power or allows him to deny citizenship to the kids being born here to illegal immigrants. Nothing. The crux of the ruling is standing, how broad the order can apply. And I quote, "Universal injunctions likely exceed the authority that Congress has given to federal courts. The court grants the government's applications for a partial stay of the injunctions, but only to the extent that the injunctions are broader than necessary to provide complete relief to each plaintiff withstanding to sue." In other words, or in English instead of legalese, the order with the people who sued is fine. Anybody else, you're going to have to sue too. That's it. The court said the stoppage of this order only applies to the group and individuals who sued, not the whole country. Okay? You need a class action for that or multi-state federal suit. And the justices said, both with the those who joined and those who dissented, that that would be fine. And that's reasonable. But the two sides, they need you to hate each other. That's the game. And it must be constant. It has to be everything. Otherwise, they can't keep selling it. It doesn't become this surreality that we're all in. So everything's got to be processed through the lens of fringe focus. Taylor Swift, transgender, and now anything that the Supreme Court says must be weaponized. The headlines make it seem like the Republican-appointed justices are allowing Trump to do whatever he wants. Get rid of birthright citizenship. Huge win. Trump then, of course, echoed it.
Well, this was a big one, wasn't it? Well, thanks to this decision, we can now properly file to proceed with these numerous policies and those that have been wrongly enjoined on a nationwide basis, including birthright citizenship, ending sanctuary city funding, suspending refugee resettlement, freezing unnecessary funding, stopping federal taxpayers from paying for transgender surgeries.
He doesn't even know what he's reading. And you know it. You know he has never seen that before. And that's why he's putting the emphasis on the wrong syllables, because this is just what somebody wrote. And I'm not laughing because I hate Trump, okay? Stop with that childish nonsense, all right? I'm just pointing out what's obvious, okay? And he's not wrong to sell it as a big win, because that's what the left wants it to be too, except they want it to be proof of a constitutional crisis. It's all a stupid, toxic game. And by the way, this isn't even new, this conflict between the executive and SCOTUS with universal injunctions. Biden went through it. It was connected to his attempt to forgive all student loans. Obama faced it, nationwide injunctions with DACA, to deal with the dreamers, and policies that demanded public schools allow trans kids to use bathrooms. It came up in that also. You just didn't hear about it the same way then. Why? Because we were not in a period of such extremism as we are now. Now everything is illegal. Everything is unconstitutional. Everything is being destroyed and destroying and breaking. And it may seem semantic, but clearly it's a lot more than that, because look at the state of our politics. the parties are dominated by the fringe more than ever. AOC and the squad want amnesty for everybody. And they pushed Biden to let the border become an expressway for good and bad people. So now, what does the other side have to do? What does MAGA do? They're bringing the rapists, they're being the murderers, the brown menace, the bad hombres, they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats, they're all scary, right? From one extreme, let them all in, to the others. Throw them all out. MAGA wants to cut entitlements, reduce services across the board for people from the federal government, even though the people who voted for Trump need those services. So what does the left do? Open socialism, take away profit motive, free everything, free, free. They want less, we want free. Instead of minorities being targeted, now what does the left do? Oh, you want to go after brown people? We're going after white people. Literally winning an election with a pledge to tax whiter neighborhoods. That's the language they used. Stop the squeeze on New York City homeowners. And by the way, homeowners are in trouble. It's tough to buy a home right now. It's not about supply. It's about the ability to warrant the demand. It's affordability. But free isn't the answer. And the idea that, can you imagine the Supreme Court even looking at this case? Hey, is it okay to shift the tax burden onto whiter people? Can we do that? Is that okay that we said it out loud? This is the fringes in a battle of picking winners and losers. Why? Because it's easy, because it divides us. And you know what's hard? What's reasonable. And it is the answer that America has always provided in its best moments to affordability, to expanding access to the dream. It's not about this guy being a bad guy. That's cheap. And he beat my brother, okay? So if anybody was going to say that, it's not about demonizing him or his faith or how he looks or how he sounds. What you test is the ideas, okay? The answer has always been making more pie. It cannot be about taking from one person's slice to give to another. That's not democracy. That's not capitalism. But that's hard to do, make more pie. So both sides want to figure out who gets whose slice. And that's why our politics is dominated by selling what sounds too good to be true. I'd love to hear a court rule on this. We want to shift it to the whiter people. Is that okay? On the theory that we believe that it's been bad for the non-whiter people, so we want to make it worse for them. Does that work? Is that okay with the equal protection thing? But that's what wins elections. And no, it's not sour grapes, okay? I'm against demonizing this guy. It's not right. I've been talking about this extreme shift and what's happening with these two crapo parties for years. And for those of you who think this is about my brother, you're making two gross assumptions. One is that I wanted him to run and expose himself to this poison political climate again. And the other is that I wanted him to run as a Democrat. You should question both those assumptions, okay? I'm just saying what's obvious. There are no more Republicans. There are no more Democrats. There is MAGA on one fringe, and there is its mirror image on the left, whatever you want to call it now. And all we know for sure is this state of play makes the majority the losers. Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.